Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today? I'm going to wait just a second here while it goes out and we start getting a few people to come on, which is always exciting. But just having a little, here we go. So anyway, I'm excited to be here. And guess what, everybody? It is Rah Rah Friday. Woohoo! I'm so excited. First off, welcome to Facebook Live, the Rah Rah Real Estate show where we talk about home, inspiration, and life, and where every day we move people with heart. I am Patricia Love, and I have the website RahRahRealEstate.Love, and I have a complimentary service as I'm an advocate for buyers and sellers nationwide. I screen top agents for buyers and sellers in the cities that they live or wherever they may be moving to. Then I also provide tools and strategies throughout their transaction and their transition. So check out my website, RahRahRealEstate.Love. We have an exciting show today. I'm excited because we will be talking to the fabulous and renowned Bert Oliva live in just a few minutes. We'll be talking about mindset and the aspects of life and career, and you're going to see the energy go off the charts. I mean, between the two of us, there could be fireworks. I don't know. But anyway, you will be able to ask questions. I will be putting in the link here. I'm going to copy this link right now into, hello, Elizabeth. Nice to see you. I'm going to put in the link here for everybody, hopefully. Comment. There we go. And so if you want to get on live with Bert, you can, or ask questions. So don't be shy on any of this because it will be a lot of fun. But before that, what do we have? We have Fur Baby Friday with Fancy. Woohoo! Look at this. Fancy is all ready because what do? We shout out every single week fur babies that are either not doing well or just those owners that want their fur babies shouted out. So, Fancy, are you ready? Yeah, we're ready. So the first one is Bubbles. Bubbles is a 16-year-old tabby kitty from Melbourne, Australia, sent in by Kathy Gibbs. Hey, I wonder if Kathy is related to the Bee Gees. Interesting. What do you think? Anyway. So shout out to Bubbles. We have also next Kit, a 6-year-old husky dog from Alexandria, Kentucky, sent in by Mr. Jacobs. Oh, Kit has an infection. So let's send Kit some energy and get well quick. And our third fur baby is kind of special. I think Fancy's a little jealous because Huck is a 24-year-old macaw parrot from Marquette, Michigan, sent in by Dan. Just Dan. And, you know, Dan, I don't know, but I hope you're 24 because I think those macaw parrots can live 60 to 80 years. So, I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, big shout out to Bubbles, Kit, and Huck. And I hope you guys are all well. Please, everybody, send in your fur babies to me. I shout them out every week, especially if they have any issues or stuff, because we love our fur babies and we definitely want to shout them out. So, okay, guys, Fancy, we're going to talk later. Okay. All righty then. So I am pretty excited here, guys, because I am bringing somebody into the house that's pretty special. And what I want to tell you about, because right now he's sitting in the lobby. And so I want to introduce him first before I bring him into the house. So I am going to be talking to Mr. Bert Oliva. Bert Oliva is a leadership and human behavior expert, a renowned bilingual public speaker, author, and corporate trainer. Bert has received national recognition for delivering how-to techniques with a high-energy message, showing people how to communicate more positively and powerfully. Bert speaks regularly and conducts team building and management communication seminars for companies and organizations interested in better employees, relations, sales, morale, and productivity. For more than 21 years, Bert Oliva has been helping thousands of people transform self-limiting beliefs into self-fulfilling breakthroughs to achieve their dreams. Bert, and I know this for a fact, has a knack for making the seemingly complex easy to understand. His programs are dynamic and compelling to help both motivate and produce more in people's lives. Now, let's get this party started. And who's in the house? But it's Bert Oliva. Welcome, Bert. So excited to see you.
Thank you, Patricia. Such a great introduction. And it's a pleasure to be here, actually. I'm really excited to be able to do this with you. And this is one of the things I always tell people, that whenever you get an offer, because a lot of times a lot of these speakers, they're like, make themselves so busy and inaccessible. The whole thing is to get out there. If you really want to change people's lives, anytime you have an opportunity to get in front of the webcast or whatever, take it. Take it and run with it, because all it takes is one person to change that person's life, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
You know what? And I so agree. And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited you came on here, because, Bert, every week I talk to people, and I find them like, they're always saying that they're stuck in different things. And so I really want to jump into this, because I don't have a lot of time with you. So I want to make sure I get every ounce of information out of you as possible. But it's funny how people are stuck and they just don't know where to go. Then they could be 20s, 30s, or 40 years of age, and they seem to just don't know what to do. So I don't know if you have what are some of the mindset traps that people seem to derail their successes? Maybe we could talk about that. Or also, if you have any little story, because sometimes people can relate really better to sometimes a story too. But so I'd like to just kind of discuss that, and I'll throw it over to you.
Well, being stuck is really a mindset, and we kind of do it to ourselves. Sometimes we get ourselves so busy. It's also a way to justify that we're not succeeding because we don't have enough time. We're stuck. We're living that vicious cycle. But the truth is, you need to go ahead and expand, do crazy things, step out of your comfort zone. And I know this is simple stuff that everybody talks about, but one thing is talking about it, another thing is actually taking action. It happens all the time. It's like right now, a story. I could use the justification or the excuse of, oh, Patricia, I can't really do it this Friday, even though we scheduled it a while back. Right. But I'm supposed to be going to Orlando right now. I'm supposed to be in our vehicle heading towards Orlando. However, when you commit to certain things in life will happen. Like that trip that I was supposed to go to Orlando wasn't planned. This was planned first. So right. Everything happens to try to derail you from what you're supposed to be doing. And this is when you're supposed to really stay focused and doing the things you should be doing. If this is what you want to do, like with you, Patricia, I've seen you come, the past 2 years. I think we've known each other for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, a couple years now, yeah.
You started with the RahRah Real Estate. You started doing little tidbits of, information every Friday. And then I started seeing some memes. Then I've seen the expansion. So someone will come to you and say, Patricia, you're so lucky. You make it look easy. Yeah, but all the mistakes that you've done, all the times that these webcast softwares really don't work, but you still push through. And you come through for your audiences. You come through for that one person that could be your biggest client or your best friend. Life is such a beautiful thing, and a lot of people, it doesn't matter what age you are, people actually don't take advantage of this thing we call life.
That's very true. So would you say then a lot of people get stuck and things because maybe they're comparing themselves to other people also?
That's good. That's a good way of looking at it. I always tell people, look, find yourself a mentor, even if that person doesn't know that they're your mentor. Go ahead and find people that are doing something that you want to be doing, but there's a thin line between looking for mentors or comparing yourself. Like a lot of people compare me to Tony Robbins, and I look up to him. He's obviously
you're much better looking.
Thank you. But he created the pathway for us to do what we're doing today in today's world. It started with Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown. Some of those, like Les is a great friend of mine. However, everybody compares me to Tony. So what I tell people is like, look, thank you so much. And I do look up to him, and I know what he's done and what he continues to do. But, I'm Bert Oliva. He's Tony Robbins. Be the best you can be. And then there's always a space there for you. So don't compare yourself to other people. Become the best you. It's really what I tell people to do.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of we have gifts, and we all have an individual gift, and so we're very unique in our own way. So I know how people have said, well, gosh, for instance, I'm a real estate agent. Well, there's lots of real estate agents out there, or there's lots of speakers out there, but they're not me.
That's right.
I bring a different thing, just like you bring something new, different to whatever you do, your motivational speaking. And what people don't realize that I find is they could compare themselves, and they don't realize that no, there's nothing to compare with because you're your own DNA. You're your own person.
Yeah, what you're doing with the real estate thing, a lot of your counterparts would probably think you're crazy, but it's actually
totally.
It stands. There's a quote that says, "Find your niche, you will become rich." And that's what you're doing. You're creating the rah-rah real estate. You're living life. You're embracing it. You're enjoying it. And people will look at you and say, this woman's a little crazy, but long story short, they'll end up buying from you. They'll end up connecting with you. They get to know who you really are. And that's the way it should be. Look at those other people that are doing it a little better than you. Like when I go to the gym, I look at these guys and I take advice from the guys that are either more buff than I am or they've been doing it longer. I don't go to the guy that's fatter than I am and ask him for advice. The advice is out there. You just go out and ask. Surround yourself with as many people as you can in any given day. I always tell people, go out and find one new person in your life. The other day, I was at, we went to for the 4th of July, we went to have a breakfast. And there was this guy he was full of tattoos. And, I'm not into full of tattoos. I like tattoos, but his tattoos were beautiful. It was a work of art. And for no reason, I was pushing Nana in her wheelchair, and we were going to have breakfast. And I bump into him, and I tell him, look, you have a beautiful art. I want to congratulate you. It's gorgeous. And he looks at me, and he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He goes, thank you. So we left it at that. That made me feel better. I didn't do it for him. I did it for me because that's what I felt at the precise moment. And then when I was leaving, he stops me and says, I want you to have the best 4th of July you've ever had. And I was like, wow, that is so awesome. That day I felt great. And that's what I tell people. Look, go out there and compliment those people when you really, truly want to compliment them for something. Not because you want attention, because you're doing it from the kindness of your heart. And you'll be surprised how much more you'll get in life just by doing that one technique.
It's funny you say that because I was just, thinking about our talk today and the such, and looking back a little bit, several years ago when I was kind of at the bottom of the barrel and all that stuff. And I started to realize that when I changed my heart from anger and from terrible hatred and, victim and blah, 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 and became heartfelt.
Yep.
Everything began to change. I mean, the abundance that started to happen to me because I was grateful. I was heartfelt. I didn't have the anger anymore. I didn't have the hatred. And I think that anger and that hatred is, people don't even realize that they're so angry. I see people angry every single day. And I know there's a story behind it, but I wonder if they could just learn to let it go and say that energy is holding them back. Don't you agree? I mean, really, it just holds them back from moving forward.
When you did what you did, you found yourself in the thing that's called the quantum. And I really want people to go up and look it up. Ilanka Harashi is a good friend of mine, and she wrote a book about being in the quantum. And when you're in the quantum, you're in the quantum. There's basically nothing you can do wrong. Everything just happens. And you're like, man, I'm so lucky. No, you're in the quantum. And right now, you're in the quantum. And that's what it takes. You got to let go to grow. You vibrate at a different level of energy. Your megahertz are way higher than the average person. So when you're in that state, man, embrace it, enjoy it. Nothing bad lasts forever. However, nothing good lasts forever. So while the wheels are going, just go for the ride. Enjoy the ride. Learn the things you got to learn. So when those bad times come around, you'll never be in that bad time because you'll be at a different level.
That is so true, Bert. And I hope that people listening to this, and people, if you got questions, please be sure to put them in because we will take questions.
Also, people are here to share. If you like something that I've said or Patricia has said, share it. Share it. Just be crazy and share it, even if you don't do it, because it could be that one person that's waiting for this message, and you're going to be able to help us do that.
That's absolutely. Well, we have Elizabeth here. And we have a few other people that are popping on. And so hopefully they'll jump on and ask questions because they can even come on live if they want to. But it's so important. And I got to tell you, I always know when I'm in the quantum. And I know when I'm going out of the quantum. And it's so interesting when you start to really understand your heartfeltness or understand you. And I think people just try to, brush it off and the such. If you really start understanding who you are, things do change. And I even look at people totally different now. I listen so much better and I get so much information now just because by listening instead of being the voice, if you know what I mean. So it's just something that I think is so important. But, as we kind of talk about the derailing of things, maybe we can kind of go into some more of the type of hacks that make us successful. Besides, I know we've been talking about it, but are there some things that we can do every day? Because I find that people are really having a tough time wrapping their head around mindset. Because you and I talk mindset blue in the face all the time. But sometimes I just get this, the stare, like they try it for a day, and then that's it. So maybe we can talk about some things that they can do to make them, get them out of this rut, to get them to move forward so that they're not 65 or 75 and turn their head and go, I wish I woulda, coulda.
I mean, let's go to the basics. That's really what I tell people. Go back to the basics. Find the speaker that really you can connect with, that really empowers you. And there's a lot of them out there now. They're easily accessible because of this internet. Find yourself a CD or a thumb, thing with because everything's changed. It used to be tapes, right? So you got a thumb drive. Get yourself a thumb drive, a CD, go to their seminar, buy a book for God's sakes. Books are being well read is the first part of being ready. Study. Get as much information as you can get into your mind so you can start seeing things differently in your life. We just finished writing our book, which is right now is on proof section. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, drink red.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Love it. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, drink red. Red for rational, educated decision. A guide to live life on your terms. And the book will be out in about 2 weeks. We're finishing off the proof right now. And what I tell people is look, a book can be anywhere between $10, $20, but it will change your life. Pick up the books. Go to those courses. Keep going. And sometimes you'll go and you're like, I've been to 5 courses and at first I liked it, but after a while, it's just the same thing over and over again. Look, it's the same thing over and over again. However, if you change, you'll start noticing them things that you didn't catch the last time. So when you get into the self-help world, this is what I call it. This is something that you're signing up for the rest of your life. This is not a 5-day program. This is not a 21-day program. This is something you will need to do for the rest of your life. And it's fun. It's a journey. And I really challenge you to be a part of this journey. Buy yourself a journal. Go ahead and buy a journal. In fact, you'll notice that very successful people always have a journal. I have a journal right next to me over there. I can pull it out. Everyone that I've met, billionaires, multimillionaires, successful real estate agents, they have journals.
We jot things down. We're writing things down all the time.
Write things down. When you go to a meeting, they'll ask you, hey, is it okay to take notes? Journals are very powerful tools. So that alone will help both ways, because you can start writing journals, and 9 out of 10 people will start writing journals, and then every time they get upset, they're writing a journal. So it becomes a negative journal. But then if you look at it and you're honest with yourself, you say, wait a minute, if I'm always being this negative, how can I think that I'm going to get good things in my life? So start changing the way you're writing your journal. That's the best teacher in the world.
Yeah.
Start getting yourself a journal today. I go ahead and challenge you to go out there and buy a journal. And then come back, and Patricia will probably do a session talking about journals.
There you go. Exactly. What's interesting is that when you said a word, which this particular word is very important to me, and it's just start. And it's people, they say they try things they do the affirmations, they do these things, and then they give up. But they don't, or they'll do it tomorrow, or they'll do it, then I'll do it next week when I get done. I've got this whole thing I got to take care of. No, you got to start today. If there is no tomorrow, yesterday's completely gone. I have to start today, because the closer I get to, well, I'm older than a lot of these other people, and I like sitting there going, no, I got to start today, because tomorrow is really going fast, type of thing. And I just find that if people would just decide to make the decision to start even one baby step, even one little thing to start every day to make them feel better. And is there 1 or 2 things that you would tell people that, besides starting and reading the books, and is there something they can do just today that maybe that it's not so overwhelming for them? Because I find that people just
And people think I'm insane when I say this. I used to bodybuild when I was really young. And then I got off of bodybuilding and I got into self-help, which is bodybuilding was what helped me stay focused and have consistency. And I followed directions and I did really well in my younger years. However, I got into the seminar world and I've traveled all over the world, and that you take a beating after a while. It takes a toll. So then I'm like, I got to get back in shape. So let me do it this way. I got in the car, I drove to the gym and looked at it, and I drove back. That was day one. I didn't get off. I just did that drive. Why? Because I'm programming myself with little baby steps. Next step, I drove the next day. I went in, I signed up, and then I left home. Right? Next time I went back in, I went in, did one exercise, and then went home. Long story short, I've been working out for about a year and a half now. And today, I work out 6 times a week. I do cardio 6 times a week. And I'm almost in the best shape of my life. Why? Because I did it with baby steps, little steps. If you go in hard for 1 week, you'll be in so much pain, you'll never go back.
Right.
So things in small increments, small steps. And the average person won't understand what the hell you're doing. But that's okay, because they're average.
It doesn't matter because you made progress. You went to the door, you opened the door. You may have left, but you went back the next day. I think that people don't realize that they think they have to take these huge steps, and they think they have to go from here to here. Like, I know in business, it's like people say, well, I want to make $1 million by next year. They're like, well, good luck to you. Yes, you might get lucky and win the lottery or whatever, but if you just
but those people they see that, I always tell them, well, why don't you have you made $100,000? They're like, no. Well, why don't you become a thousandaire and then work your way up to a millionaire?
Right.
Because if not, you'll never know the things that happen in that process. I started from being a poor immigrant that came from Cuba with my mother. I had no father, no grandparents, no brothers, no sister, just my mom and I cleaning floors. And every time I told her I wanted to do something, she says, son, mijo, lo que tú quieras, whatever you want. And that stayed in my mind. Long story short, I've built my wealth. It's taken me years, but let me tell you something. It's satisfying. And at the end of the day, it's very hard for me to lose it. Because even when I do, I have so much experience and lessons that I can get back on my feet a lot faster than the most average person, because they haven't gone through the challenges.
Right.
So, at the end of the day, just nothing can stop you. The only reason that you don't have what you deserve is because you're not taking action. It's because you're not taking the actions that it takes to be that person you want to be. It's that simple.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just play the victim and they just, like, poor me, poor me. When in reality, it's a choice. These are choices you make. If you decide and you choose to be a millionaire, or a thousandaire, or $100 it doesn't even matter. Whatever you choose, you can do it, but you just have to be. I've changed my vocabulary. I don't even use the word can't anymore. It's like, get out of here. I just say, I choose to do this, or I choose to eat that cheesecake today, or I choose not to eat the cheesecake today. But it's a choice that I make, and I'm okay with that. When you deprive yourself and go lack of, right? If you go lack of, then you get more lack of. And I just think that you need to change people's vocabulary by saying choosing and stuff like that. To me, it helps me move forward. Plus, I think also, because you can maybe attest to this a little bit before, gosh, it's even getting close to 10 o'clock already. Can you believe it? I knew I would never have enough time with you. But anyway.
That means you might have to bring me back.
I'm going to have to bring you back. But I find that people just really, they get just hung up. They get so hung up. And so I want to ask you kind of one little last question here is, if you could only give people 2 things to start with, that would change their life today, at least their feeling. What 2 things, what might that be?
Well, let me first go with the little story I want to share with you.
Okay.
When you were talking about choices, you see, I believe in God, and I believe there's this thing called destiny. So at the end of the day, let's say that God says, Bert, you will die when you're 80 on the plane. That's my destiny. So if I knew that, I might as well just give up on life right now. So my question is, will it be American Airlines or my private jet? How I arrive to my destiny is up to me. There's choices that you can make to get to where you're supposed to be getting at a whole different level of class. Right. So when people say, well, it's not meant to be, I grew up poor, I wasn't born in the right part of the city, that's just a justification for you not wanting to do the things you have to do.
Right.
So one of the tools that I use all the time is the victory dance. I tell people, look, put on your favorite song, do it for 45 seconds, and go ahead and play it as loud as you can first thing in the morning. If you do that, within 45 seconds, you will change your state of mind and state of being. But you got to do it at least for 21 days. And you got to wait. If you have a significant other, you're doing it right when that person says, Bert, you're crazy. And you go, yeah.
I love it. It's like my cats look at me and go, I get up every morning and practically go, woo, with my little,
There you go.
Or I bring up, Fancy, and they're just all wondering, what is wrong with you, girl?
That's your victory dance. That puts you in a state of awareness. That puts you, that it could be pouring outside, storms are coming over, you wake up, you put on your makeup. It's like we set ourselves up for failure or success. And if you do that little cycle, a little ritual that you set up for yourself, for me, it has to do the victory dance. For you, it has to do with the fluffies. Yeah. Great. Neither one works.
Yeah.
But find your ritual. Whatever ritual you're doing now that you're driving to work and you're hating it, do something different to create a different outcome.
Yes. And the one thing that I want to tell people, and I don't know if because we do have a minute left, but I want to really ask people too from my side, which really helped me also, is because sometimes people do things and then they, again, like you say, they stop doing them. Well, I found what helped me is when I just really acknowledged the stuff that was an issue with me, being truthful with myself. Okay. And when I finally was able to really acknowledge and write down in a journal or whatever to acknowledge these things, then what does Dr. Phil have to say? If you acknowledge it, then you can fix it. But you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. And I think that because I think that's what happens to people is they start to change, but they never fixed it from the beginning.
And so I congratulate you for that because you make it sound like it's easy. It's one of the hardest.
It's not easy.
It's one of the hardest things to do is to be able to be honest with yourself. Once you've done that, you're on your way there. So I congratulate you for doing that because not everyone, a lot of people talk about it. Not many people do it. And
that's true. And, that was one of the 5 rituals that I do every single day still. And that's the very first one is what did I do yesterday that maybe I need to change? Was I not nice to somebody? Was something happening or whatever? And it's really, really important that I do that. But yeah, I agree. So that people really need to just start. I mean, no matter what it is, start. I guess that's the best thing. And so I have one final question for you, Mr. Bert.
Go ahead, Patricia.
Okay, so, and you can expand on it or not expand on it or whatever you want to do. If you're stuck in an elevator for 1 hour with somebody that who would you, for 1 hour, the person's either dead or alive, who would it be? And what would you talk to that person about?
That's a good question. I don't know. It would probably be either Elvis Presley or Frank Sinatra.
Okay. Well, so maybe they were both in there. So what would you talk to them about?
And they've made such a massive change in our world. And I would like to know how did it feel for them to be able to do that? Because I know when they started, that wasn't the plan. Mm-hmm. That today, even my son, who's 16 years old, loves his music, mm-hmm. Frank Sinatra's music, and one of my favorite songs is the one that he sings that I did it my way. Right. I try to lead each and every road. And it's awesome because he really did that. And when they had the Rat Pack, right? The Rat Pack.
Rat Pack, yeah.
They were one of the most famous people in the globe at that time. They would do their show, and at the end of their show, they will actually walk off the stage and have a drink with you. They were real. They were not prima donnas. Like some of these people that do one good event, one good song, and then they have 20 bodyguards. I want to meet those people. I wish I had the chance, and those are the people I would have been with, and learn from them. How did it feel? And I kind of model myself after them. No matter how big I've gotten, no matter how many places I've been, and who I've been able to share platforms with, I find that I stay true to myself and the people around me. So it's just a lot of times people think that I'm just not accessible. I am. What you see is.
This is the most accessible, wonderful man I've met in a long time. So I really appreciate you coming on here today. So first off, Bert, I got your BertOliva.com up here. Is that the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, if you go there, we have a link there that you can go to any social media that you prefer. We want you to follow us on your favorite social media. Mine happens to be Instagram. However, you can just follow each one of them. The other thing is I want you guys to follow me so you can keep your eye out.
Yes.
This book will be out in the next 2 weeks. It says, don't drink the Kool-Aid, drink red for rational, educated decisions. It's a guide to live life on your terms. It's 7 chapters. It took me it's 23 years in the making. A lot of the tools I do here, there's stories. There's also resources and places that we found substance to be able to share with the techniques that you get. And it's not like any other book, because you don't have to read it from beginning to end. You can actually choose that chapter of the part of your life you want to work on. Then in the back it says, we're all brainwashed. Yeah, even you. So it's a great book. I'm really excited. We have a lot of people working with us on this book. They really want to go ahead. So you'll see a lot of advertising. You're gonna see.
And let me know what I can do to help promote you, because I love this guy. He's awesome. And I want to thank you so much, Bert, for coming on. This has been awesome. And I hope people, a lot of people will see it on the replay, which will be great. So again, I really appreciate you.
On the replay, make sure to subscribe to her channel. If you like one phrase, one word, I'm telling you, this is one of the things that most people have to do. Don't be sad. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. You're doing something great for this world. You need to let the people know. If there's one thing that you've heard that Patricia said or I said, and it's really struck a chord, make sure you subscribe to her. And then after that, next time you hear her do another one, you go ahead and share it. Share it. We're going to be able to change this world to be better only if we work together as a group, as a whole. There's 3, 4, 5 people right now that are there and they're watching the entire show. Thank you so much. However, it needs to be 40. It needs to be 60.
Exactly.
And the only way it's going to get there is with your help. So please.
Exactly.
Patricia,
well, and that roams me right into my segment of I'm Patricia Love. And I have the website, RahRahRealEstate.Love. So please check me out. And also, you can go over there and sign up and get your free declutter book for e-guide. So that's a great little decluttering mind, body, and soul and home. And also, I want you to make sure you guys join me every Friday for Rah Rah Fridays from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Facebook Live for the Rah Rah Real Estate Show, where we do talk about home, inspiration, life, and we're everywhere, every day we are moving people with heart. And Mr. Bert, thank you so much. And I want to make sure I tell everybody else to go out and make somebody smile.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thanks, Bert. You rock.
We send our love your way. We love you at the Bulletin.
I'm going to go to Miami soon, and I have a safe trip to Orlando or wherever you're going.
When you come to Miami, we're riding the Harley again.
Oh, betcha. I have pictures. I love that. All right, guys. See you guys later. Thanks again for joining us. See you next week. Bye.